Are you thinking about buying a home, but are overwhelmed with the thought of how much it costs to purchase that home? Well, you shouldn't be, because there are programs out there to help give you some financial assistance. Guys, I'm Jeremy Weiss with the Helpers Group, and today I'm joined by Kyndle Quinones, who's a mortgage loan officer with Main Street Home Loans. So, Kyndle, would you introduce yourself to our viewers?
Hi there, I am Kyndle Quinones, and yes, I would love to help you out with the process of the financing. That's exactly what I do for home buyers, and I really love to work with the first-time home buyers that are looking for different down payment assistance programs.
That's awesome, because there are, as we're going to talk about, different programs out there. So, Kyndle, I guess to start off, can you give the viewers an overview of what these home buyer programs look like? What does it actually mean?
Sure, absolutely. So there's a couple of them right now. So there's a few that expire, so they get refurbished throughout the year. So we have one that's going to be coming out in February that we can talk about once we get there, but that's an actual grant where grants don't have to be paid back.
Okay.
So, and there's some income restrictions on some stuff. There's some asset restrictions, meaning that you can't make too much money and you can't have too many assets because it's really based around people that really need the money. Now, one of them that's around right now is the Maryland Mortgage Program, which we love. We actually are the gold level standard lender for them, and they offer up to 5% of the loan amount to give you back towards your down payment. So basically, it's a silent second, and there's no interest on it, there's no payment on it. So it's almost like, you've got money that you just kind of sit aside that covers your down payment and a little bit of your closing costs too, right? Okay. And the way I look at it is like, just don't forget about it because you have to repay it. Once you sell the house or refinance. So it's like putting a book up on the shelf. Just make sure it doesn't fall and hit you in the head when you go to sell it.
So that's really important. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So obviously there's some different programs out there, but as we know in life, nothing for the most part is ever free. So can you explain to them what you mean when you said a silent second? What does that look like, and what does that mean to somebody who uses this money?
Sure. So basically what that is like you're using the money for the down payment. So let's say you need 3.5% for the down payment and we give you 5%. You have a little bit extra to go towards the closing cost, which is amazing. So you're getting 100% financing plus a little bit more. However, you have to repay this back. So a lot of people are like, well, then I want a grant. Grants are free. Well, there's not a lot of grants out there, and when they become available, they're very scarce. They run out. This doesn't run out. So it's a really cool product where it's just a silent second lien that's on the property. So let's just call it $10,000.
Okay.
If it's $10,000, there's no payment on $10,000. There's no interest on it whatsoever. It's just when you go to sell or refinance, you have to pay your first loan back in addition to that $10,000.
So that's really critical to know, that if you're going to be potentially using these grant programs, then you have to be thinking about living in the house for a particular period of time, perhaps longer than the normal 3 years that we would say somebody should live in a home. But so we're talking they should live there probably a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, there's no really restrictions of when they have to move. If they move sooner, it's just that it has to be paid off. So the really good news about it is, I think where you're going is to gain the equity position.
Correct.
In order to make some profit in addition to the 2 loans being paid off.
Correct.
Awesome.
So, so I guess the next question for you is, what are the qualifications for people for these grants or for these, like for the Maryland Mortgage Program? What can anybody get them? Is it specific to first-time home buyers?
Great question. So there's two avenues on there. So one of them is for first-time home buyers only. So and that is defined as you haven't owned a home for 3 years, deeded anywhere in the United States. Okay, not just Maryland. So if you're a first-time home buyer, you can get the product where you can get 5%, 4%, or 3% towards the down payment and closing cost assistance. Now, if you sold your house today and you purchased one tomorrow, you can use this product too. However, you're a repeat buyer and you can only get the 3%. So it's the lower of all of them. So it's a really cool product. There are some income restrictions per county, but the county loan limits and the restrictions are pretty high.
So they've been raising them kind of steadily.
And if you've got children, it's like 1 or 2 people's in one category, 3 or more is another category. So I believe Anne Arundel County is literally up into like 189,000.
Oh, wow.
Something very reasonable for first-time homebuyers.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the credit score goes down to a 640 credit score. They'll allow you to. And if you go from a 640 to a 680, you have to stay under a 45% debt to income ratio. And what that means, guys, is that we have to be very careful of taking the payment plus what you currently have divided by your income. We have to stay under 45. Now, if you have above a 680 credit score, you can go up to 50%. So there's a little bit more flexibility for better credit.
For a better credit score.
Yes.
Okay. But if people don't necessarily have the good credit score, there's also space for them
Correct.
as well,
Absolutely.
which is good.
So when you think about it, like when you go down to a 640, relatively people think that there's nothing available for them, and there absolutely is.
Yeah.
So, and if you're sitting on the fence, like you've got like a lower 600, let's say you have a 602 credit score, let us take a look at the credit report and see if there's anything that we can do to increase the score prior to you purchasing so that we can get into this program.
So one of the big things that I'm hearing you say without really saying it, so I'm going to say it to them, is if this is something that you're thinking about, one of the first best steps for you to take is to actually sit down with Kyndle and I so that we can talk about all of these and we can look at, or you can look at their finances and really advise them on this program, because this is not something you can just go online and figure out.
Absolutely.
Right?
Well, and it will confuse you, right? Because there's so many buckets within the Maryland Mortgage Program. You can certainly navigate through it, but have the professionals like really hone in on what you would qualify for specifically, so that we can make it customized to you.
Awesome. So another question for you.
Sure.
As you know, we really specialize in working with heroes, right? Our police, our firefighters, military, teachers, healthcare workers. So are there specific programs out there for the heroes in the community?
Yes, we have quite a few of them, and one of the biggest things so I come from a long line of military.
Yeah.
I've got 5 service members in my own family, so very, very, very near and dear to us. We have discounts for them. The interest rates are typically discounted as well,
Okay.
and sometimes we run different specials where we would cover, different things like a home inspection or an appraisal or things like that for them. So there's different products and programs within the Maryland Mortgage Program as well. We can kind of look at, okay, would that work better for you, or if it was a different product. What we do is we specialize it to your needs. So we just look at your budget and we say, okay, we can get a discounted rate on this product, and or we can go over to this product and give you some money. So it all depends on what you need. But the answer to your question, very long-winded answer, we have that there for you.
There are things out there.
Yes.
Awesome. Then my last question for you is, if we have somebody out there who's thinking about buying a home and they're just not really sure if it's the right move, or they're not sure if they can financially make that purchase, can you give the viewers your best tip, or what would be your best piece of guidance for people in that situation?
Don't freak out. So one of the biggest things is everybody's so afraid to talk about things we've been told in our lifetime not to talk about, right?
Absolutely.
We're not supposed to talk about how much money we make. We're not supposed to talk about what's in our bank account, what our credit score is. Nobody wants to talk about it. But guys, we have to talk about it. So there's a no judgment zone here with us.
That's
I
awesome.
talk about so many people. I talk to so many people all the time that once I talk to you, I've got the information. We're on to the next thing with you. So don't worry about it. So if you think that, hey, I only have $500 in my bank and I have a low 600 credit score, guys, we just have a solution for you right now. We just talked about it. So I'd love a consultation with you, a no obligation consultation, where we just come up with a game plan. Maybe you're not ready right now. Maybe it's 6 months from now. Maybe it's a year from now. Who knows? But what I don't want you to do is say no to yourself because you think you can't.
And we've had really good success helping people who originally thought that maybe they didn't qualify for a home, and getting them into their first home so that they can begin to kind of realize that American dream of owning a home and building the equity and gaining wealth through that equity. So, well, Kyndle, thank you very much for sitting down with us today. I think this has been really valuable information. And for those of you who are watching this video, if you guys find this video to be helpful, do us a favor. Please like our video, give it a thumbs up, and do us a favor and subscribe to our channel so that you can get more information about the Maryland real estate market and the Maryland lifestyle from us right here at the Helpers Group. Down in the comments, you'll find our information as well as Kyndle's information, so you can schedule that consult with us, and you can even actually book online with us right down in the comment section. So, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Jeremey Weiss with the Helpers Group.
And I'm Kyndle Quinones with Main Street Home Loans.
And as we always ask, how can we help?